I'm going to start by telling you some interesting facts about Italy. Italy is approximately 116,400 square miles. Italy is one of the most crowded nations in Europe. The capital of Italy is Rome, also known as the Eternal City, and it is almost 3,000 years old. It has been the capital since 1871. Almost 4/5 of Italy is either mountains or hills. Now let's begin talking about the history of Italy. The current Italian flag consists of 3 vertical bands of color: green, white, and red, with the green being the side on the hoist side. This kind of flag is known as a tricolor design, the same kind of design that the French and the Irish flag have. The modern flag of Italy wasn't made the country's official flag until 1948, but these colors in the flag have been in use since the 1700s, representing the various cities, states, and kingdoms that made up the country we know as Italy today. There are poetic meanings assigned to the colors of Italy's flags, but they were only associated with the flag after the fact. The flag wasn't given its colors with those meanings in mind. You'll read that the colors green for hope, white for faith, and red for charity. Or the green is for the hills, the white is for the mountains, and the red is for the bloody wars of the independence. Rather than poetry, however, it's the historical merging of government that we have to thank for the meaning behind the 3 colors of the Italy flag. The first use of the green, white, and red tricolor design for a flag is what is now Italy was 1796, when it was represented a republic in the north. The red and white came from the flag of Milan, and the green from the color of the region's military. Within a year, that republic had merged with another, and the tricolor design would be abandoned and readopted over the years. But the 3 colors used would remain. Looking over all the flags that have flown over Italy is a bit like looking at a quilt. From the early tricolor of the late 1790s to the square and diamond design of the Napoleonic era and the re-emerge of the tricolor bands. These are very important to Italian people. With that being said, family is very important to them. The adjustments that the first generation of immigrants made sometimes had devastating results. They became neither Italian nor Canadian. The second generation combined the aspects of both cultures and lifestyles. The third and fourth generations became more Canadian than Italian. Visiting friends and relatives is very important among the Italians. Intricate networks of friendship and fellowship are developed as they share their joys and sorrows. The Italians make wonderful celebrations of their weddings and baptism ceremonies. They usually rent a hall, have music, dancing, special pastries, and wines. A church ceremony is usually followed by a reception. Wedding ceremonies are very special as well, usually followed by receptions held in halls or at homes. Italians also love music. Music is a part of their lives. They enjoy it at holidays, family celebrations, and special occasions. Opera, an Italian tradition, is popular among Italians, and they continued these musical traditions when they immigrated to Canada. The majority of Italians is Roman Catholics. When they immigrated, they brought their religious traditions to Canada with them. They began to build churches where they would pray to God, but the churches also served as a place where they could meet and help each other and share their traditions. They held Italian classes inside the church halls where their children could learn and preserve the language. Italians set up the Catholic schools too, where the Italian children would learn their religion and their culture. If Italy were your home instead of the United States, you would use 56% less electricity. The consumption of electricity in Italy is 5,423 kilowatts per hour, while in the United States it is 12,482 kilowatts per hour. This entry consists of total electricity generated annually, plus imports and minus exports, expressed in kilowatts hours. The discrepancy between the amounts of electricity generated and or imported and the amount consumed and exported is accounted for as loss of transmission and distribution. We also use 55.11% less oil. Italy consumes 1.1850 gallons of oil per day, while the United States consumes 2.6400. The entry is the total oil consumed in gallons per day, divided by the population. The discrepancy between the amounts of oil produced and imported and the amount consumed and or exported is due to the omission of stock changes, refinery gains, and other complicating factors. You would also spend 60.84% less money on health care. Private health expenditures combined in Italy are $2,633 US, while the United States spends $6,719 US. This entry contains the public and private health care expenditure at purchase power priority using US dollars. This figure combines government and personal employer spending on health care. The life expectancy at birth in Italy is 80.33, while in the United States it is 78.24. This entry contains the average number of years to be lived by a group of people born in the same year, if mortality at each age remains constant in the future. The entry includes total population as well as the male and female components. Life expectancy at birth is also a measure of overall quality in life in a country and summarizes the mortality at all ages. It can also be thought as an indicating the potential return on investment in human capital and is necessary for the calculation of various actual measures. Now that you have learned about some of the history of Italy, Wendy is going to tell you about the communication in Italy.